Hey Hoover, it's Lila Cosentino.
And Maggie White.
Today we have a new face that some of you might not be familiar with here at the high school, Mrs. Ashley Duff. Mrs. Duff is our new associate principal for last names A through G. So join us today as we learn more about who she is and what she does as Hoover's new associate principal.
Hello, Mrs. Duff, and welcome to Hoover Highlights.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Good. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Okay, so we're just going to start off by getting to know a little bit about your background.
Sure.
Like where you grew up, where you went to high school.
Okay. So I graduated in 2003. I was a Green Bulldog.
Okay.
And shortly thereafter, I actually got my first house at 19 years old, so I didn't hit the college track right away. I was really excited to do that, so that was something that I was striving for, and we were able to accomplish that. So I stayed in Green until I was about 23 years old, until I met my now husband, and we moved to Firestone Park, which is where he is from, very shortly. And then after about 2 years of being there, we ended up in Manchester, and now we are out in Lake.
Oh my goodness, you moved around a lot.
Yes, we did. A lot of house projects. That's why we bounced around so much. We like to do houses and flip houses, and so that's what made us kind of move around.
That is awesome. Did you do any activities or sports when you were in high school?
So that's a very loose term for me. The short answer is no. My mom did pretty much force me into softball for like 6 years of my life, and it was painful. I did try to do cheer for a couple years while I was in middle school, and I'm just one of those, I'm just not athletic. I mean, to be honest, it's just not my thing. So by freshman year, I was not involved in any type of sports or activities, but I did volunteer. We did like a summer camp, and I would help with like the kids and do things like that. But the athletics world was just never really my thing. So yeah, I just enjoyed spending time with my friends and hanging out with my family.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we all
And
like
that works. So, did you always know that you wanted to be involved in the school, or who inspired you, I guess?
So my husband is actually a teacher. My godmother is a teacher. I was not one of those people that was born to like be in education. Like a lot of people that I talked to, they were like, oh my gosh, from the time I was 6 years old, like I knew I wanted to be a teacher, I wanted to be in education. That wasn't really something that I was thinking of in the moment, but as I look back and see my involvement with like the youth and young kids and things like that, I guess it was right there in front of me the whole time. I guess I just didn't realize it. So I was probably mid-20s, and my husband was like, you really should get into education. Like your passion for people and how you're able to connect with people, like you would be such an asset. So I said, you know what? I'll give a year of the College of Education a try. So at 27 years old, I went back to school for the first time. I went to college. Really hustled through it and got in for that first year and enjoyed it, and then the rest is history. So I finished my undergrad in about 3.5 years and then got started by the time I was 29 and a half.
Oh my God. Where'd you go to college then?
University of Akron.
Oh, that's
So
where my
yeah,
dad
so I
went.
went to my undergrad there, which was also where my husband went. And then I would say about 4 years ago, I did an online program for my master's degree for educational leadership. I had a little guy, he's 7 now, but at the time, just the idea of going on campus again to try to do education was just like a little overwhelming. So this program was really nice because I was able to get my degree in about 16 months.
Oh, wow, that's pretty quick.
So yeah,
That's
so we were
awesome.
moving it. When I get going on the education track, I just get it going until it's done.
Good for you. That's awesome.
Thank you.
So when did you get started here at Hoover, and how long have you been here?
So 2018, the 2018-19 year is when I had started. I originally was working with a student who needed a little bit of support in the classroom, a one-on-one setting. He was a student who had disabilities, but we really wanted to keep him around typical peers as much as possible. So I would work alongside him for my first year, and then the Digital Academy program became open that following year, where we were working with kiddos who had credit deficiency, social emotional trauma, things like that, just not the traditional track. So that is what I had done for several years until I was awarded the opportunity to be at the middle school as a principal, assistant principal last year. So that's where we did the transition, and then here we are now this year.
That's awesome. Wow, yeah, that's so cool. That's so cool to bring something like that in and to just all of a sudden get to be part of that.
It is. It's a different perspective because a lot of people have that traditional teaching, which, I mean, there is no comparison. Like, you need that, but there's also a small group, the population, that needs something that looks a little bit different, and I was really happy to serve as that role for those kids.
What would you say are some of like the biggest differences between teaching or being a principal in middle school versus high school?
The time management, the busyness of principalship is it's just something to get used to. And it's okay because I like to be busy. But there's really never like a checkout time, like you're always kind of like thinking about things past 3 o'clock. You're thinking about things on the weekend. You're reflecting and just conversations, getting the to-do list ready. So when you're a teacher, I felt like I had a little bit more downtime when I was leaving the building. I could kind of leave my work here. In principalship, I don't know that you can do that, or maybe I'm just not doing it the right way yet. We are only on year 2 here. But middle school, they are busy. There's so much development happening in those 3 years that they're there socially, physically, and they're just busy. Like, I just can't put it into words. So the high school is very chill in comparison. Like, we're transitioning into young adults. The things that you take interest in are already set, and it's just the conversations look different because you're talking to young adults and you're getting to relate to them and have just a different relationship than you are with the littler ones. So yeah, it's definitely different, but in a good way for sure to be here.
Yeah, one of my soccer coaches teaches 8th grade, and she's like, "Woo, they got energy."
They have energy, they have pep, they do. And 6th grade is even busier, which I was the principal for the 6th grade and then half of 7th grade. They're just that transition from 5th grade into a new building where they have more responsibility and it's a big year for them. It's a big year for their parents and guardians, and there's a really good team over there. So they have the best support, but I definitely am happy to be here with the high school students.
Yes. So what are some changes or improvements you'd like to make at the school to kind of help with that transition even?
I have to be honest with you. We have a really great culture in this building. There are incredible staff. My role this year and moving forward is just wherever there may be a little bit of a weak point, I just want to do what I can do to make the building just that much better. I don't think that there are improvements per se that we need to make at this time. I just want to support the staff whenever those hard situations and those hard conversations come up with students. That is my ultimate goal, is just to be another advocate for them and for their kids.
Yeah, and that's great. That's what all parents want to hear.
Yep.
I mean.
Yep.
What letters are you through again for being a principal?
So I am A through G. We have a little way in the admin office there to remember. Mr. Bluey is headquarters, HQ. So I'm everything before the HQ, and then Mr. White does everything after the Q. So now you'll never forget.
No, we won't. That's
that is awesome.
Yep, easy way to remember it.
So what do you think makes like a great high school environment for you to be in and for students to be in?
I think communication, optimism, opportunity, perspective. These are all things. There has to be relatability. You have to really understand that not everybody comes from the same opportunity as you, and so you need to just always kind of have that ear of compassion and just make sure that you are supporting all students, whatever that looks like. Every day does not look the same around here. We appreciate that. We enjoy that. I want students to be able to trust the adults that are in the building. And I think that overall we really have that here. And I think that's the biggest takeaway, is to make sure that that trust and communication is established between us all.
Yeah, I think Hoover does a really good job with
Thank
that.
you. I'll make sure to let the bigwigs know.
So with each student needing a little bit of different help, what do you think makes a good student leader?
A good student leader is just, it goes back to being just an overall good human. They want to be involved in the program. They want to see how they can make the climate and the culture within their peer group better. Branching out to the community, seeing in which ways that they can support the community, because the community really just kind of drives our school and our kids and what the atmosphere is. So I just think being open-minded and making sure that you make those connections and kind of, bridge that gap between community and the school is really what makes a good student leader.
Yeah, I agree.
So through all your experience, what's a time that you had like an interaction with a student that you really learned something important?
I genuinely have to say that almost every, every single encounter that I have on a daily basis, I'm learning something. Again, there is no day that is the same. So there is just a lot of perspective that comes with talking to so many different kids and trying to just understand what made them do something, or what it is they're thinking about, or what they're coming from, or what the expectation is at home. So I genuinely learn something every single day. They really ground me in how I go home and interact with my kid, myself, my husband, my family. There are a lot of opportunities that I have with kids that make me feel very grateful for what I have, because unfortunately, that's not the case for all students. So I learn something every day from you guys, and I'm grateful for that.
Aw.
You're welcome.
I'll teach you guys too.
Yes, thanks.
So, what's one piece of advice that you would want every student to remember, or advice you got as a student that really...
So this is not advice that I got as a student, because the world has changed in social media and all the things. I think for me, it is just to make sure that you are not enjoying your youth to the point where it's destroying your future. You guys live in a time where everything is recorded, it's sent out. I mean, in a moment, lives can be changed drastically for the good or bad. So just to always be mindful that once it's out there, it sticks. So good or bad, whatever choices you're making, enjoy your youth, have fun, do all the things. We've all made mistakes. You have to learn. It's the only way that we learn. But just make sure that you're looking forward to think, okay, if my children or my spouse or my employer was to ever see these things 15 years down the road, am I going to be mortified, or am I going to be proud of the decisions that I was making? So that is my best piece of advice for this generation.
That's really good advice. I feel
Thanks.
like people are either on one or the other
Yep.
side of that. Like,
Yeah.
oh, do it, or no. Like,
Yes.
you need to... But I like that you have a middle ground.
Yeah.
Be careful.
So,
but
yes, we got lucky in that. Our generation was lucky.
I know you said that each day is different, but what is like a usual day? Like if you had to just pinpoint what like the common day looks like being an assistant principal, what would you say you do?
There's a lot of meetings, IEPs, support, academic support, guidance, emotional, parts, getting to know things that are happening in student lives, just to kind of keep you abreast on those things. Sprinkle in some lunchtime activity there. There's behaviors here and there, but I mean, nothing that's the day-to-day stuff. It's not like it's super heavy. It's a lot of teacher support, having those conversations, checking in with the staff. I could do a better job of being out in the hallways and to be seen a little bit, but again, when you're trying to manage that time and get a rhythm for a new year and what a new building brings, sometimes I feel like I'm locked into my computer more than I would like to be, but overall, I mean, it's smooth. You have there's a little consistency in the things like that you're dealing with, the subject, the content of what you're dealing with. It's just sometimes those experiences change from day to day.
I see you in the hallway. You always have cute outfits on.
Thank you.
yes, even busy.
Yes, you're busy. Thank you.
So what would your favorite part be then?
Of the job?
Yeah.
It's just being in this building with the kids. I mean, the kids and the staff, the connection to the community that you get to gain through this. They make fun of me because I'm not a sports person, like I mentioned earlier. So but it's nice for me to be able to go to the games. We have to be there for admin coverage, but it's nice to be able to see the kids in a different light and not always focus on the academics, but to see what their passion is and what they're really excited about. To see the student support at our football games and stuff. Jackson's energy last week was super awesome. That was super cool to watch, especially because the Browns lose every week. So I lose that relatability, unfortunately. But yeah, it's just really cool to see you guys kind of outside of your element and just to kind of cut loose a little bit and just have something exciting to look forward to.
Yeah.
The Jackson game was a good game to be at.
It was good energy for sure.
I'm not the biggest football fan. I kind of get bored watching it because I'm just
That was not a boring game, though.
No,
that was
not.
a good one.
I was actually paying attention.
Well, any final thoughts you'd like to share with us?
No, I'm super grateful that I get to have this opportunity with you. Thanks for asking me to come in and do this, and I'm excited for your senior year. I hope it goes fabulous. I hope you have super fun plans for after high school. And if you ever need me, just let me know. You know where to find me.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
For our very last question, it's going to be, what do you think is special about Hoover?
Again, it just goes back to the support and the community. The student body is so good. We just have such great kids, and it really it makes the harder parts of the job pretty easy because you just have a really good student class here. So thank you for being amazing. Thanks for being good students. Thanks for bringing what you bring to the community and things like this. This is a super cool opportunity. So Yeah, overall, I'm happy to be here, and I can say that I have no interest in leaving.
Oh,
and that is
good.
a
We're
fact.
happy to have
Yes,
you.
we are happy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Absolutely.
And this is great.
Thank you, ladies. Have a good day.
Me too.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Duff, for joining us today. Thank you for everything you do for our school and the students. That is it for this episode of Hoover Highlights. Keep an eye out for new episodes on our YouTube channel and other social media platforms. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed in this broadcast belong solely to the authors and guests and not necessarily the North Canton City School District, staff, and organizations discussed during the program.